We are currently anchored in Punta Demita in Mexico, a quiet anchorage surrounded by waves.
We're an Australian family that set off on an adventure of a lifetime. We hope these little videos make you smile and inspire you to chase your dreams. Subscribe to join us and our travels as we share our life on the sea.
A little bit of yellowfin tuna, because I'm about to show you guys how I make my ceviche. Our friend Memo makes a really good ceviche, but mine's not too bad, so I'll show you what I do. So when we're in Penasco, Mark and Wendy actually gave us this knife. It's a absolute ripper. It's got all like grooves in here, so when you're cutting your meat, it just works really well. This is frozen. I find it so much easier just to chop it up into nice little squares while it's frozen. So let's go like that. So the lime is what does the work here, does all the cooking. There's no hot top involved here, no gas. This is what's doing the cooking of our tuna. So don't be shy with this. I put lots of lime over the top. Get all that through it. So this is fresh yellowfin tuna. As you've seen the other day, we got it from the market. Didn't come off the end of my rod, which is a shame, but we definitely will have some of this as we head down the coast, I'm sure of it. Alright, let's get all these ingredients together. So I've just prepared the tuna, I've just doused it with lime. There's not too many ingredients. All I do with mine is I use one white onion.
That was strong onion.
A half a red onion. And I'll throw in about 3 tomatoes. I throw a whole chili in there. Can leave the chili seeds in, but we don't like it that hot and spicy, so I just knock those out like so. I'll try not get any chili seeds in there and just use the chili itself. To the last bit, and a couple of avocados on top. A little bit of ginger. It's optional. You can go without ginger, but it does give it a little kick. It's quite nice. Simple, fresh, and tasty. Oh,
It looks amazing.
We have a dirty table.
What's on the side of the tart?
No, maybe.
Oh, this is good. This might be your best one.
You know why?
Oh.
He hasn't been adding ginger.
Ginger is very good.
Oh yeah, baby.
So there's no surf today, so we come back to the boat, and there's one job that I have to do before we leave, and that is jump in the water and clean the bottom of the boat. Usually I don't mind. The water's a little bit cold and a little bit murky. I was gonna free dive, but I'm not. I'm gonna take a little helper so I can breathe under the water. I'm gonna use this. This is a blue Nomad, and it is like scuba diving but without a tank. So I'm gonna take my hooker instead of free diving because it'll be easier. Also a really good idea is to plug your ears when you're cleaning the boat, because when you scrape the bottom of the boat there can be lots of little critters and they can get in your ears, and that's not fun. So I jumped in and it was pretty crappy visibility. The hole wasn't too bad with growth, but the prop was chock-a-block with barnacles. So I scraped them off and cleaned the rest of the hull, and about an hour later it was nice and clean.
Alright, Taj and Mama have gone to the shops. They're gone to the Buceria to get some fruit and vegetables. Bella and I are going to La Cruz, only because we have to fuel up before we depart here. So that's us for the next couple of hours. We're going to sail down while Taj and Sarah go and do the shopping. And Bella and I'll take the boat down to La Cruz. I'm going to turn this engine off, throw out the head sail.
La Cruz is about 8 nautical miles away. What's the beeping?
Well, the bipping is just because I got frustrated. The wiring, as we know, was a mess when we got the boat, but I just wired up a alarm to the oil pressure switch, so that way I don't leave the hour meter running and I know how many hours are on the engine. Otherwise I tend to leave the ignition on and just turn it off at the helm. So I've wired up the buzzer to the oil pressure switch, engine goes off, alerts the buzzer. Yeah, it's probably how they normally are set up, but was a real schmozzle, but we've sorted it now. We're doing 5 knots and we've just got a little bit of head sail out. We're lazy sailing, Bella and I. We can't be bothered dealing with the main or the mizzen. Here we are. Here you can see our existing route. We've done this before. We've gone into La Cruz. So we'll follow our track. And there's probably not much else to do apart from going to the captain's chest, get a nice cold beer, kick back and let Bella take over or have a cold beer.
We're gonna put solid railing around the whole boat though.
I would like solid rails, but hey,
Yeah,
I'm not that good of a welder yet that I'd sort of want to weld it up myself. A little bit more practice to go. Actually, I'll tell you what it is. What I've found with the welding so far is if I can have new stainless steel, I can weld beautiful stacked dimes like Gary said when he showed me how to weld. And then a lot of the stainless on this boat was all scraps from the boatyard and people's old bits and pieces they just cut off and thrown away. So I sort of put a lot of that to use, but it's so much harder to weld, especially old stainless and thin old stainless, as opposed to new stuff. So maybe if we did get new stainless, I could do a good job of the stainless rails belt.
Yeah. They aren't like a priority because Hema, they did our rigging, but they also did our railing, which is like, it's beautiful. The only problem is I can't backflip or flip off of it. But other than that, it does look very nice. And yeah, they're brand new Hema lines around the whole thing. But do we want to tell them what you did to them?
I don't know.
Talking about welding. This is
well,
you should probably tell people.
I was welding, I was rushing.
No.
I was rushing.
Who was rushing you?
I was rushing. I was trying to get out of the boatyard and I was trying to get our rack done at the back. And I knocked the earthing cable of the welder off.
Did you knock it or did you just forget?
I'm running with the elbow, knocked it off. You know, you're hot, sweaty, it's Penasco, you're in the boatyard, you got 3 or 4 days till you're splashing. I'm going for it, and then I noticed the welder going off funny and it wasn't working right. I'd knocked the earthing line off, and luckily Bella actually seen a couple of clothes we had on the safety line, and I actually burnt 2 of our safety lines because it earthed through those as opposed to earthing through my welder. And what can I say, I stuffed up, but you live and you learn. So every time before I put the weld on, I look down there and make sure my earth's there and pretty much right next to where I'm working. But obviously I didn't that time, and I cooked my lifeline. It could have been worse. I could have cooked if it had been touching one of the rigging lines.
Well,
I could have cooked that.
It was touching nearly the rigging.
Nelly wasn't though, Bella. But yeah, it cooked our lifeline. So we've got 2 lifelines which are easily replaced. It's the 2 short ones. It's the pretty much the doorway on the side. So all I got to do is, it's like 4 meters of wire. I'll still use all the pelican clips and fix it up and not do that again, Belle.
He nearly cried.
Oh, I was
He was
so
very
devastated.
sad. I still have a hole in my shirt. It was like so hot that it was starting to smoke, and we'd done washing so they were wet, And I wonder if it wasn't wet, would it have caught like fire? Because it was like damp clothes.
Taj and I came on the bus into Bucerias.
Yep.
And did some shopping. Just waiting for them to come get us in the dinghy.
The cruise marina has a dinghy dock that you can leave your dinghy here for the day. It costs 100 pesos. We didn't do it often, but it is convenient when we are all going ashore.
Something funny we do on this boat is what, Bella?
We have to write our names on certain things because we're at sea and people are greedy.
People eat things quicker than other people, so with example with our yogurt, we write our name on them because if we don't, it all goes and some people miss out. That is what we got. That should last us a little while. So we're stocking up the boat because we're about to leave Mexico and this is one of a really good port to stock up, so we're making the most of it.
We eat a lot of fresh food when we can, and the supermarkets here you can get nearly just about anything, which is so nice and a great place to provision. Costco is worth a visit, especially when you can buy 5 kilos of butter. Homemade mayo from boiled eggs sounds weird, but it's so good. The recipe is on our website, as is our sourdough bread recipe, and more if you're into what we eat living on a boat. Burgers are pretty popular on Catalpa, and we eat them all the time. With Mum's homemade sourdough bread, how could you not?
Alright, I've been delaying this one, guys. We snapped this when we first left Puerto Penasco. We had it up in about 35 knots of wind, and just as I said to Sarah, oh, I think there's a little bit too much pressure on that pole, it snapped straight in half. It actually snapped on an existing join. There was a join here and it broke at the join. Definitely an undersized pole for a boat of this scale. Alright, so what I've done is, this is our old broken pole. It was originally joined, so I'm just going to can all of that. Just transferred another hole over to here, drilled that, put our clip back in here, re-riveting all this back together. So we're losing probably about that much of our pole, and by the time it's hanging out, that much of our pole. So more of a whisker pole now, not a spinnaker pole. This should go in here like so. Like that. We're back in action. I'll rivet this back up. We've got a pole at least. It's not real long, but it should be strong. Someone informed us on the channel that there's a lot of creaking and groaning on this boat. It is an old boat and it does creak and groan. It's groaning right now because we're rocking, but this is the bulkhead right here and I can see it the whole way down. Someone suggested the bulkhead might not be right. It's solid. It's like I've been right around it with a torch and I've had a look. But what we do have is a lot of trims on this boat, and it is a fiberglass boat. It does move slightly, and if you look here and listen, this is just me moving this. Alright, so you heard the noise just before. It was just me literally moving this trim. So I've just separated this, I've packed glue in there, and I'm going to screw it and dowel it behind here. There's a couple to do. It does amplify these sounds, these little creaks we have in the boat. But it's a handful of them. I'm going to try and get rid of them because it is annoying. So yeah, let's get to it.
Today I am going to get my hair done. I don't know about a cut, but I'm going to go get a colour, which I haven't had since 2020, so it's been a while.
Clean yourself up.
Yeah, well, I've kind of put other things as priority for a little while, like although I have our money going into this boat. But today...
Well, I've got a full head of hair.
I know, you look great. But today, I did have a hair... Thank you.
Oh, sorry, darling.
Taj got his hair cut yesterday and he suggested this beautiful hairdresser, so that's where we're heading today. She's going to cut my hair and she's going to give me a little bit of colour and I'm going to come out a whole new woman, so let's go!
Wait.
Thank you. How's the haircut going? Good. You're okay? Okay. A beer, coffee, water, iced coffee.
What would be nice?
Do you want flat or sparkle?
Flat.
flat and ice?
There's a couple parts where I really have to
You're
watch.
long. Do you have pictures of what you're thinking of?
This is my before.
Your hair is strong. I can leave the length, but right now you have a line through your whole hair. I'm going to show you what I mean.
Okay. I actually had a haircut in Turkey, the last one.
Oh, how was Turkey?
Oh, we loved it. It was so great.
So take a look. You have a line through your hair right here.
Okay, yeah, right.
So I just want to blend that all in.
Perfect.
Maybe pull some of this up just a little bit, but
Yeah.
we're going to leave your length.
Okay, no, this is what we're going for. This kind of vibe.
Oh, I think you're doing quite excellently, actually. Because it takes a good 1.5 to 2 years, doesn't it?
I think they said a year to really see the growth, and it's been.
Oh, well, it's cuttable now. Have you cut it
Yeah,
yet?
no, well,
I'm the first person to cut it.
yeah.
So how would you rate his transplant of the ones you've seen?
Oh, I'd say a 10.
10?
For sure. Look at the way it's completely matching up.
That's what you want to hear.
It's a little bit blonder than the rest, and it's a little bit more wiry, but the salt, the sweat, the hat, and it's new. So it was very fine and pointy. So now that we've cut it, it's going to be a lot thicker.
Okay.
So you won't have those baby fine with new hair follicle hairs anymore.
Yeah.
Are you okay with the length that I've left you at?
Yeah, I think that looks good.
No shorter, right?
Nah, no, that's good.
All right, let's give you a shampoo.
So nearly there. Jenny just had a look and still to get a little bit lighter, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer. Lee had his hair cut, it looks very nice. First haircut of the transplant, and Janine also gave it like, she said it was like 10 out of 10, she couldn't even tell it was a hair transplant. So that is pretty great. We're gonna do a full video soon about Lee's transplant, how his hair was before the procedure, and then like 6, 7, what does it mean now? 7, 8 months later. So we'll give you an update on that, and like a whole video, so you can watch that. And that, stay tuned, see what this looks like.
They're declining.
We just went and had some food.
How are you feeling?
It's the nicest my hair. Look how
Feel it, it feels bad. Get in there.
oh, that's
Do you see anything that you might like changed or different?
no, it's so pretty.
Those ribbons and colors did really well on you.
It's so nice. Oh, I'm so happy.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yay! Bring all of it off.
I'm feeling evolved.
Oh my goodness, you're Rapunzel.
Get it till the end. So.
Get a zoom in on those babies.
This is what boat life does to your hair, everyone. That's why you have to come see Janine.
Look at Oh, you look really pretty.
You look gorgeous.
I still have
So beautiful.
You like?
Yeah.
You're not scared that I cut that? Okay,
She
good.
looks so different.
She looks beautiful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Safe travels. Safe travels. Thanks for bringing the family in. Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
so
you.
much. You too.
Aw, Lee.
The whole family's had their hair cut. Living on a boat is a pretty harsh environment for your hair, so we didn't realise how bad it was until today, but it's so healthy and fresh and we feel amazing, so thanks Janine.
She fixed up my epoxy mess that I made.
From the boatyard.
Yeah, I spilled epoxy in my hair and it all kind of just snapped off and I had these weird front things and it looks very nice.
Well, the cameraman reckons that you guys look the best you've looked in a long time.
I believe it. We don't make much effort with their hair, but I think maybe we should.
Alright, let's
You
go
look
blunt.
stunning. And that was the first time the transplant has been cut, so.
No second.
No, but he didn't touch it.
Didn't cut the... So if you are in Puerto Vallarta and you do need a haircut, we'll put the link in the description below.
We went back to the boat and that night headed back to Punta Mita.
Alright, so I've just dropped the girls out for a quick surf. I'm going to get some prawns. So it's a fun little break here. We're just at Punta Mita. This is where I bring the tender ashore. And Sarah and Bella are just having a little paddle on the longboard. There's a real fun little wave here straight in from where you anchor out the back. There's our boat out there.
Whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want. When the world gets cold, it's you and me. When the sun comes back, you'll see. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow.
You have fun or what?
Yeah, it's just got said we were like stuck in all these jellyfish everywhere, but they weren't there until just now. Okay, sorry if it's a bit windy, but Lee and I were just going for a little afternoon surf together and our motor was dodgy, we knew that, like really dodgy, but Lee just had a look at it before we left and wow, we're not sure if we can go surfing, but we'll show you what's happening.
The bit that holds the engine on, which in this case is this part, and where the other part's broken off on the other side. It's in the boat somewhere. So this is, you can see it's just corroded out. It was just always going to be a temporary motor just to get us out of trouble. Underneath here is the linkage that does the control shift. I've actually had to tape a little bit of wire onto here because the linkage is actually from the other side. You can see it's actually half open. Just got a little bit of wire holding that on there. It's just and obviously this just moves now. Yeah. Oh, the pin snapped. This pin here comes out the other side. Oh wow, it's actually snapped off. Let's see.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed and we will see you next time.
Remember to like and subscribe. Bye!